Welcome back. You are watching Goeiemôre, Good Morning. Fresh from performing abroad to sold-out audiences, multi-award-winning theatre star and South Africa's very own Phantom of the Opera, Jonathan Roxmouth, is coming home to Joburg for a limited season at the Teatro Monte Casino with his latest show, My Favorite Broadway. Welcome. Goeiemôre, Good Morning,
Thank
meneer.
you so much. Nice to see you.
First of all, it is great to have you back home.
Thank you.
Secondly, I think we need to confiscate that passport now because you've just been away way too long.
Too much actually. Yeah, we spent 8 months in China. We spent another month and a half in India. And before that, I mean, the world tour of Phantom was, I think overall it's been about 17 countries now. So I realized it was time. So here I am.
India was the very first time that Phantom had actually been done in India.
Yes.
So that was actually a big kind of
It was the premiere.
right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I am officially the original Indian Phantom. So there you go.
I love that.
Yeah, it's on the CV. It's on the poster actually to sell the show, and it was amazing because you're seeing musical theatre audiences developing in places that you never would have thought ever. And I was saying just now to Peter, like I've been very happy and very lucky to perform all over the world, but you go and you perform elsewhere and you realize what you miss the most.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's time to remind myself why South African audiences are so good.
Did the travel get a little bit kind of, you're like, oh, new country, same show, new? Did it start to take its toll? Because your voice and your body, that's your instrument, right? And now you've had all of this traveling, all of this stuff that influences how your instrument performs.
I mean, look, I never want to seem like I'm ungrateful or flippant about it. I mean, when I was younger, I used to dream about traveling on one hand, but to perform overseas is another. But, you know, after a while, yes, from the outside, it does look glamorous. Hotels and all that. But, you know, a hotel room for 6 weeks, living out of a suitcase, over and over and over and over again, when you just miss being at home and your mug and your kettle and your Rick coffee, you know. Yeah, Rick coffee. Jacobs who? No. It was it was one of those moments, and you know, you have to find the balance as well. It's lovely to be able to get a platform in South African audiences and theatres to propel yourself overseas. But you do want to come back, and you do want to sort of not go to your roots, because that sounds so twee, but go to where it started. So
back now where it started.
Yes.
How would you compare the South African musical theatre scene to what you've experienced overseas?
It's a very simple thing. When South African audiences enjoy something, then they remove all doubt about that, and they let you know. And you know, there's a warmth. I mean, I performed for these audiences here for 30 years first, and I'm accustomed to that relationship that you build with an audience. And, you know, you're doing theatre, it's live. Anything can go wrong. Therefore, when it goes right...
Like now.
Yeah,
right now.
It's fantastic. People are on tenterhooks because anything could happen. But the beauty of theatre is in that moment when it goes right, it'll never go right like that ever again, because those 1,800 people in the theatre influence that energy that you feel on stage. So every moment is a bespoke moment.
Yeah.
And it's like an extreme sport. You jump out of a plane and you don't know what's going to happen, but that parachute always gets you. So, you know, in a venue like the Teatro, which is the biggest theatre in the country, it's like 1,900 people, you feel that. And when there's a relationship involved as well with people who, you know, support the theatre in this country over and over again, you see familiar faces. It's almost like with friends in a funny way. So you don't get that anywhere else.
You just mentioned the Teatro. My Favorite Broadway is going to be happening there, limited season, 25th of July to the 3rd of August.
That's right.
What is the show about?
So essentially, I always say that when people say they love theatre and they've got a favourite song in a show, I'm convinced that the reason they have a favourite song in that show is because it holds a memory for them in some way. Either their parents took them, or it's their grand's favourite song, or it was their first date, or whatever. But the problem is with those musicals, to wait to get to those songs and those shows, you have to sit through a lot of talking. You have to sit through a lot of stuff. This concert is all of those songs without the waiting.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's with a 32-piece orchestra. So there's a new orchestra on the block called the Igoli Symphonic Orchestra. And I think there's still something very interesting about an audience sitting in a theatre and watching human beings do something live in front of them. We love listening to the music, but to see it being played just lifts it to another level. So the theatre is a lovely big stage. 32 people playing instruments takes up even more space. So I think what's beautiful about this concert is what you see will match what you hear.
Oh, yes.
And it's all live. There's no tracks, there's no backing tracks, there's no, computers going space bar, press play. There's none of that. It's all live. And we don't have enough orchestral stuff in this country, in my opinion. But the beautiful part of the show is you can feel that on stage there'll be close to 40 people. That energy and that sound that hits the audience, with the memories included, Phantom, Les Mis, Cats, come on. Netflix who?
How do you choose which songs to put into a show like this? Because that's got to be the trickiest part, right?
You always want to try and please everybody, but it's impossible. And I saw a show at the theatre earlier this year, and a lady and her husband were sitting next to me, and she said, I read the press release. It says the musical theatre songs through your lens. So are you doing the hits or the other ones? So a bit of both. The answer is songs that mean something to me, songs that I know mean something to the audience, and then maybe one or two in there that the audience might not know, but they certainly will be glad that they saw and heard for the first time. Because again, to be introduced to a song with an orchestra, but the short answer to your question is yes, songs I've sung. So stuff from Phantom, some from Les Mis, some from My Fair Lady, all the classics, all the good stuff. And then one or two songs in there that the audiences perhaps haven't heard me sing before. But the thing I'm looking most forward to is at the beginning of Act 2, I'm going to be doing something with a piano and the orchestra that I've been wanting to do since I first learned the piano when I was like 8. I'm not telling you what it is, but it has been about 30 years in the making.
How does that feel when you get onto a stage to do something that you've only ever dreamt about for the longest time, and now I am making my dream come true? It's got to be incredible.
The easy part is you just want to cry sometimes. You just want to indulge that emotion, but you can't keep having Oprah Winfrey moments all the way through a show. You have to earn those. So with an audience in front of you, you know that your dream is coming true. You don't have to underline it. Yeah. And it's something that I think is amazing in the moment, but I know that when I'm 80 one day on a stoop somewhere, I'll look back and I can't believe that actually happened. But that feeling in that moment, the best way I can describe it is if you take the feelings of Christmas morning when you were a kid, if you take getting married for the first time, if you take all of those life moments and you put them all together, this is the childhood version of myself and the adult version of myself agreeing on something that's amazing. And you add music to that, you add a piano, because I think it's the best way to express yourself through music. If you're a musician, that's the way you do it. And this particular moment in the show, I hope I can keep it together. But it's thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling.
You set yourself a goal that you wanted to be back in a musical, and that is happening for you later on this year, playing Billy Flynn in Chicago. I was like, well, they could have chosen a better person to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, my mother, for the longest time when I was growing up, wanted me to be a criminal lawyer.
Yes.
We lived in Joburg. I'd never run out of work. So the beautiful part of this is I didn't go into law because we don't have a jury system, or as I call it, an audience. You talk to a magistrate in badly fitted robes, and no thanks. Whereas, I knew law from TV, LA Law, Boston Legal, that sort of thing. So with Chicago, I get to be in a musical, but I also get to be a criminal lawyer. So my dream comes true, my mother's dream comes true, and I get to do a musical in South Africa for the first time in 8 years.
Wow.
And of all musicals, something sexy like Chicago with amazing music. And I'm the only person who's fully dressed in the show. I'm thrilled. But we basically present the most amazing show to the audience and story, which is so relevant for now, using, razzle dazzle, lights and lingerie.
And it's such an evergreen show.
Oh, yeah.
But because it is so evergreen, there are so many different things you can do with it to make it fresh and make it new. You must be looking forward to that.
Well, the other thing about Chicago is the band's on stage as well. So again, you get to see the music being played. And what I think is so wonderful about the show being done in South Africa now is we have a fair understanding of
criminality.
Exactly, but court cases that become entertaining. And what is a celebrity? What do you have to do to become a celebrity? It doesn't really matter as long as you have $5,000 and Billy Flynn.
Yes.
You know, and with all of that being said, the fact that the movie did so well, everybody knows Richard Gere in that movie, but there's still space in the show to make it your own. And you know, give me 6 girls with white fans and a 11-piece jazz band, amazing things can happen.
And a mannequin.
And a mannequin.
My favorite Broadway, where can we get tickets before we need to go and book our tickets for Chicago? Because the man is fierce.
Yeah, there's time for Chicago.
Yes.
It's literally next weekend.
Yeah.
The concerts begin next weekend. So web tickets is the best way to do it. If you want to talk to a human being, you can actually go to a Pick and Pay because they have web tickets availability there.
Okay.
Some people are old school. They want to talk to people. They're scared of phones. But online, it works perfectly. Web tickets is the best way. I know some people have been able to book through the Monte Casino website, but web tickets, easier.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Jonathan. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. Ons is nou terug en Albert van Wyk van Maak My 'n Miljonair is op pad. So bly net waar jy is.